First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow rules. I'm a trendsetter anyway. Okay, I march to the beat of my own drum. They say I need rules in my life. Well, I got some. That's one. Kill the competition. Two. Be a loyal dog. Three. And if they snitching on your man, send them to the mall. Four. When you party, go hard till you hit the floor. Five. If you didn't see me do it, what the hell you asking for? Welcome to my world. SRNA.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the Sunday Night Live Stream. We come to you live every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch at Blackout_AD. Let me bring out my co-host extraordinaire, Blackout AD. Welcome to the show for episode 184. How are you, sir?
What up, dude?
I know you're under the weather, but and I feel bad. So thank you for pressing through. This man's a professional. This man's a pro. He shows up to work even sick. He doesn't call off no sick days.
No,
because we don't have any. We gotta work on our benefits package for you. There's no pay, no sick days, no nothing.
Crazy out here.
Some would say it would be abusive, like if they were really to look at this setup. It's kind of abusive. So my apologies. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. It's the weekend after Christmas. Hopefully you guys got all your gifts. I think it's currently Hanukkah week for those celebrating Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all that good stuff. So again, still lots of holiday celebration, and we're coming up on New Year's. So the holiday parties have not stopped just yet. We got another weekend of those. So excited about that. And obviously you guys, if you haven't noticed, I do not have my usual background. I'm not at a hotel. I'm in my studio, but we're redoing the studio. We're repainting it, doing some stuff. So it's getting an overhaul, so to speak. I don't know what it'll look like next. So it depends on what Mama Llama wants to do back here too, because she has a half of the studio. So we'll see. I don't have any of my sound stuff up. I just have a desk and a computer up, and that's it. So let's see. The other ADs has some comments here. We're gonna have to get some AD labor laws in place. Yeah. I mean, you would think with what I do for a living, I would know that I'm violating several labor laws. But anyway. And AD, dude, we're gonna get us ad suitability, bro. Okay.
I don't get paid anyways.
So you're rebelling against the machine. Anyway, so a lot of people are going to be doing some best of videos. I have one coming up for you guys, so be on the lookout for that. I hope you guys see that. There'll be a best of the 2024 movies that I've seen. So, and thank you, AD, for the idea and for the push to do that. So you'll see that. Elite Squad 2 also drops this week, so I'm excited for that one. And if you hadn't checked it out, on Christmas Day, late Christmas morning, I dropped Terrifier 3, a terrific Christmas movie, if you haven't seen it. Although I did get a warning from the editor. I didn't realize the version of the movie that I was watching was not necessarily a legal copy, and so he was like he sent me like a 3-paragraph warning about using that video, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take my chances, like it's fine. but the video itself, very excited. People are watching it. It's doing pretty well. But I did a premiere on it. There was people coming in and out of the premiere. I thought it was pretty interesting. Don't really had any comments or anything, but people were watching it on and off. So it's fun. It's fun to drop something and have content throughout the week. So let's see. So anyway, check those out. Make sure you guys check all that stuff out. So AD, I know you don't celebrate. Well, I don't. Do you celebrate Christmas?
Not really.
I don't know your status, and again, I don't want to put your business out there. a practicing. Well, I don't know what.
No,
You
dude,
tell me
no.
what
Nothing.
you.
I
You're
don't do
nothing.
anything. No.
You don't do anything. Okay. You're technically not affiliated with a religion, though, right? Like you're just you exist.
I'm my own person, dude.
All right, all right. I'm just making sure. I don't want to label you something and then it's not accurate. Um, so let me ask you. So do you and your significant other, do you exchange gifts at all or no?
Yeah, for her. I don't really care to get gifts, to be honest. So, I mean, I did get gifts, but not. It wasn't like like yeah, Christmas. I feel like I should do it because for her, it's kind of something
Yeah.
important to her. But we went to her family's house and shit. But like I was telling her, I was like, well, you know, on Christmas in my like family, we don't even see each other. You know what I mean? Like we don't do shit really.
So
My biggest Christmas tradition is I get Chinese food, which I did this year as well because
yeah,
it was open and I
that's my
love Chinese
Christmas
food.
Eve tradition. For 40 some odd years, my wife's family gets on Christmas Eve gets Chinese food and pizza every
You
Christmas
told me that
Eve.
before.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I look forward to it now every year. It's like it's the same Chinese food you eat all the time, but like because
Yeah.
it's Christmas Eve, you're like, damn, can't wait to dig into some crab rangoon. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
it's so good. Um, but apparently, it the tradition started because they couldn't decide what they wanted 40 something years ago, and they have been doing it ever since. Just made it a tradition. It's a weird thing, but we look forward to it. The whole family looks forward to that. And then obviously Christmas Day, we do the whole cooking and exchanging gifts and breakfast and all that kinds of shit and dinner. And I mean, I was cooking all
It's
damn day.
it's weird because like growing up, again, it's like my mom didn't celebrate. So like my mom made it a point. I think I probably said this on the show, but my mom made it a point to give us like when we first moved into like our family home, she like gave us
Hmm.
one holiday the first year. So it was like one Thanksgiving, one Christmas. And that's like my core Christmas memory. But then like, my dad's side of the family, they celebrate. So like we'll go like partake with them too. So it's weird. It's like we don't really celebrate, but then we'll go to like the family events just because obviously all the families together and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird dynamic that I grew up in, kind of.
It is. It is. And I can't place like how like because okay, so I my dynamic is I have the Spanish side of my family and how we would celebrate, and then the American side of the family, the white side, and how my wife and her family celebrates, which slowly has morphed into just we just celebrate with her. But I always can identify one way or the other how we would do this the holidays. But with you, it's such an enigma. It's such a weird fucking thing that I'm like, how does he celebrate? And I'm always curious. I'm always curious about that. Not disrespectfully. I mean, it just I am truly like, I wonder what his thought process is when it comes to the holidays, when it
Just
comes to
another
this and that.
day.
So, I
That's how I
know.
look at it. I mean, that's true. Truthfully, like before Katie, again, like my life is just weird, But it's like when I left home and like went to go play baseball, there was like times where I would like stay like Thanksgiving, like break or something. I would stay in the dorms and I'd just be by myself. You know what I mean? Like, and even the last couple of years when I moved to Colorado, it was like when Big Homie was here, I would go
Yeah.
hang out with them. You know what I mean? Like, cause again, they're doing something, so I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll slide.
Yeah.
But then when he left, I was like, for the 2 years that he was gone, I was like, yeah, I'll just stream or I mean, I think last year we had one of the holidays we had the llama show, so I kind
Yeah.
of like did content on the last couple of years. But to me, it's just another day. You know what I mean? Obviously, I get off of work, so I just kind of like do what I like doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna share. Obviously, we talked about it because I was online with you, but I did get the big gift of the year from the family. They all chipped in, and I don't know what I did this year to deserve it, but I got the PS5. So they went all out. The family all chipped in, and I got the big gift this year, and I was like, damn. I mean, and you know me, I'm an emotional guy. I was tearing up just thinking like, you know what, this is very nice of the whole
Yeah.
family to do this, because I wasn't expecting it at all. I wasn't expecting it at all, and I was like, and the funny thing is, they were watching me as like waiting for that reaction, and I was like, stop, guys, like don't do this,
Yeah.
because guys, I mean, everyone knows I cry all the time. But yeah, no, I'm grateful and thankful that I got that gift, and I got a lot of nice gifts and stuff, a lot of little things here and there. But
Yeah.
that was the big gift, so I'm excited, and I've been playing
Some 2K. He finally
some
spent some money on the game. Look at him.
NBA 2K. Hey,
A year ago, he
look,
would talk shit about us.
I would that you guys are spending money on VC and on stuff, but
Gives you great
damn.
pleasure. You bought a T-shirt, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't. No, I put it all on the
Oh,
character,
wow. I
on the
respect that.
attributes.
Took my advice.
I was slow in that first couple of games, and I didn't like it, and I said, no, I'm putting all the monies on there. So,
Respect it.
hey, look who it is in the chat, man.
Yes,
Look at this
sir.
guy.
Welcome in.
Eduardo Lima, the editor extraordinaire. It was Thursday, dude, but it was cool. Had some presents.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Eduardo Lima is our editor extraordinaire. Coolest dude out there.
I did get this beautiful red hoodie as a gift.
That's
Fabletics.
nice.
My biggest goal this year is I'm gonna get a Fabletics sponsorship on.
Just
Biggest
keep
goal.
mentioning them.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like since I've known you, I've been trying to pay to win. All right, dude. You could
All
pay to
right,
win too,
okay.
dude. Hey, like everybody does it. It's okay. But
Same.
obviously this year's been like very what am I gonna do with my life type of year for me.
Right.
And I've been working out a lot. I mean, for the last couple months. And honestly, it's kind of gotten to the point. I'm also getting older, so I think I'm valuing that how I feel a little bit more, like in terms of like my energy. I'm not as down. I don't feel like I'm as moody as much. Like you guys know me. Sometimes I'm just moody. But I feel like I'm less moody now. I like even at work. There was times that before working out, I would like go to work and not talk. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just go do my shit and leave. Like I didn't feel like talking to anybody, whatever. But now I'm like, oh, I feel a lot better. So I was like, kind of my greatest asset always, because you kind of listen to people talking. They're like, what you're good at, like find what you're good at and exploit that kind of. And I was like, my greatest asset's always been my physicality. So like I was like, man, maybe I should make some like type of workout content. Maybe not go fully into it, but small little things and like work. Obviously, I want the Fabletics sponsorship. I was like, that would go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think also like the way I'm actually transforming my body, and that's like kind of like a big goal of mine right now. Is like, all right, I see the muscles coming in. Like, let's see how fully like let's see what I could do to my body in the next couple of years before I get fucking 40. And I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. So
Yeah. Don't get to you at 40 and be like me. But
honestly, Hugh Jackman this year in Deadpool and Wolverine. I told Katie, it's like a funny. It's not a real motivation, but it's kind of like a funny like thing I say. But I was like, I want to be Wolverine when I'm 55. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
ripped. Like that guy is jacked, bro, and he's old. He's 55.
Exactly.
Like, yo,
Exactly.
you could, and honestly, technology and like just the information out there is like you can be that. You know what I mean? You can live a healthier life. And I was even saying like, yo, I feel like if I went on a trip right now, like working out will still be like a thing. I'm like, yo, I have to work out today, especially because I'm on a trip. Like I'm more so like, yo, I don't want to ruin my flow right now. So
right,
good thing.
You put in some work, and so you want to keep it going for sure. Eduardo says, "Me too, man. Working out happened to be nice, energy restoring. Yeah, for sure.
Honestly,
yeah. I mean, I'm not as active as you have been. You're more active than I have been, but I have been active, and I got to say it does feel good. Like it sucks to wake up early on a Saturday or whatever and to put in the work, but like it feels great once you're there and you're doing the workout and you're like, all right, and then afterwards you get a boost, man. Like this weekend, Saturday morning, I got up early. We went to work out. I did my workout, and then the minute I was done, I was like, "Boom! Let's tear this room down. Let me go paint. Let's start doing the thing." Like I had energy to burn, and I'm like, should be tired, but I'm glad I'm doing it, man, because I gotta stay healthy, man. So,
Yeah. I mean,
but
the mentality, I think even like my mentality's changing. And I don't know, I feel more because there was a spurt when we first started the show that I was working out a lot and I lost hella weight. And I
yes,
think that in my mind, because at this point I got to like 220 then. Right now I'm like floating at 250. But in terms of my physique, like everything's changing. So I'm like, I'm gaining a lot more muscle. I'm way more healthier than I was at that point. And I let that shit kind of slip away and it kind of eats at me. Like, like you did all that work and then you just ate shit and like, you could still enjoy like even yesterday. I'm kind of getting or I'm trying to get to in my head where it's like, yeah, it's okay to have a drink one time. You know what I mean? And like you won't because I'm either on or off. It's either I'm drinking all the time or I don't want to drink at all because just one drink, I'm like, yeah, maybe I could drink today and maybe tomorrow. So I'm like, it's okay. Like now I kind of put it towards like the working out. It's like, damn, dude, you drank. Now you're gonna feel sluggish. But even then, I'm like, I don't. You know what I mean? Like the days I do drink, and if I don't drink the next day, I still get up and go work out. I'm like, all right, that's good. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I'm proud of you for keeping that consistency. Now, if I could do that with everything else in life, but baby steps. I feel like I have improved a lot this year. I mean, obviously, this is our last show of the year, so I feel like it's a good topic to like really talk about the changes because I feel like even you as a YouTuber, you've grown a lot this year, and even more so, I feel like you've gained confidence this year
yes,
in it.
yes,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah, I feel like and thank you for that good segue because yeah, I honestly feel like and look, to comment on what you were saying, yes, your attitude and the way that you sort of go about things has changed since you've done the workout and the health kick because honestly there were times where you would like just disappear into whatever you were going into, like you would just be like again, not anything bad, but it was like I didn't know where you were, like what's going on, like we wouldn't be in contact for a little bit, and you would just be like, gaming at like 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and all of a sudden you're eating, I got to go up and eat some Taco Bell. Like I'd see you on stream, and while I'm going to work, and I'm like, what are you doing, right? And but again, I thought everything was fine because that's just kind of how you were doing things. But since you've been on the kick, like you have been more clear about goals and things that you want to do and how you want to do things. And even the feedback, and like I said, we always talk about this, but even how we sort of interact has been more clear. Like, hey, do this or touch this, do that. Because I think that's been the biggest change for us as well, as our communication has been way, way better. And we've been able to sort of touch,
I mean, it's basically what year 3, bro.
yeah,
Realistically,
no.
so
Yeah,
I feel
but
like this. Not to cut you off, sorry.
yeah, go
Maybe
ahead,
this
go
is
ahead.
going against what we're talking about, but I
No,
do
no.
feel like we did a lot more content this year too. We had to. There was a lot more collaboration than the last couple years. Like
Yes.
the
Yeah.
first year was strictly if you had me out. We did the Mortal Kombat shit, and then we started the pod, but we didn't really do content like that. This year, I mean, we had obviously Penguin, Vampire Diaries, and I feel like even those we had to like, all right, how are we gonna get this done? Oh, let me help you edit. Even though
Right.
on this
Right.
last episode I've been slacking in it. Kind of getting hurts my feelings. But this year we did have to like do different things and even finding an editor and like I don't know. I feel like we kind of both shifted focus with the content itself. And to me, just life in general, I'm like, again, I'm at the age where it's like, all right, what am I really gonna do? Like, I don't want to do this job shit. And there's no other job where I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. Like when I'm making content, when I'm selling cards and shit, and I mean, even the Pokemon cards came this year. To me, that's like the biggest thing. That helped me a lot because it showed me, like, yeah, I always joke about it, but I never sold drugs or like try to like make money other than just going to work and clocking in. So this year was the first time where I was like, oh, I could make money out of Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? Like I could just make money come out of nowhere by putting in the small little effort throughout the day. And I think it kind of translated to even me wanting to be healthier, because then I was like, bro, if I can get healthy, if I can get more energy and just crush this. To be honest, how I felt last year, where I'm like, yeah, I want to make a change. I want to make a change. I still feel this year.
You're
And
right.
I almost feel a little psychotic. I was actually talking to a coworker. I was like, bro, I'm like crazy because I've elevated this year in all aspects. My credit's gone up. My money situation, I still spend frivolous money, but I'm definitely getting better at it. I'm
Right, right,
obviously
right.
using it to like cop Pokemon cards and like flip them. So I'm definitely getting better at it. I started an actual business. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's kind of a slept on thing that I did this year. It's like I actually started the LLC. I actually put my words into action, because that's one thing since we've known each other is like I've had all these ideas, but like when am I going to start putting them together? So I feel like this year for both of us, we kind of both were like, all right, let's actually take this shit more serious. And you, I mean, even like the movies of the year, I was like, that's a fucking perfect thing for Llama, especially because if you're gonna continue doing this movie shit next year, you got to think about it. You know what I mean? Next year's greatest movies or the best
Yeah.
movies of next year. You know what I mean? So to me, I feel like we elevated a lot. I feel like
No,
I'm
no,
rambling.
for sure. No, no, no. And you're right. And to address the whole confidence thing is I will tell you, like, from the beginning of the year to now, I think I found my voice. Again, I thought I found my voice. I thought I found my rhythm, but it was just me settling in. Now that we have the pieces in place, right? We have a great editor. We have plans in place. We have sort of a schedule that, again, that is, I'm actually more, I would say that I was never proud of the show, but I'm very open about the show. Like, I was never, you know me, I try to hide a little bit of it to say, I try to protect, like, oh, I don't want this to be known by my work. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
It's more like, hey, I want people to know what I do, and because I'm proud of the work that I do. I think it's great work that you and I do here, and that we're doing the great things. So again, just getting the editor, getting on IMDb, doing the shows together, all this stuff is check marks that we've been talking about doing. So as we talk about the year in review in 2024, like, this has been a growth year for us again. So I mean, 3,400, sorry, 34, 7,400 subscribers, and growing every time. So like, the numbers don't stop growing. So that's a great thing. Like,
yeah.
it's so awesome. But I do want to acknowledge Eduardo. He says he's got to hit the bed, man. Hey, man, Eduardo, thank you
Appreciate you.
for being our editor, man. You've done a great job. Keep up the great work for us, man. And we've got more work for you in 2025 for sure.
For sure.
But thank you, man. Um, this guy's been awesome. Happy 25. Glad to have my clients. I'm telling you, man, this guy's made a difference. So thank you for that. But yeah, no, 2025, man, is again like, again, we've grown, and now we got to keep going. It's this next level for us. So now the goals have to be there. But I'm just excited to keep doing this. Like I've typically dreaded the shows in terms of, like, oh, what am I going to do next? Now I'm like so excited to record again.
Yeah.
You know, like I just signed in for January, right, for the editor for the next 8 movies, and I'm like, boom, I've got them jotted down, or I got things jotted down. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it on this date. So like, it's an exciting, and I think you can see in the edits, in the videos, it's a different perspective. Like, you can definitely tell I am enjoying it again, right? There was a lull where I was enjoying it, but at the same time I was like just kind of going through the motions. But now I'm
I
like,
mean, you
I
were
can't
like half.
wait.
You were like half. I mean, I think
Yeah,
we kind of simultaneously have been doing the same thing.
yeah,
And the thing is, I always say you're the most consistent blackout member we have. Like, everything I'm learning, to be honest, I look at it like when I finally fucking get my head out of my ass and start a channel and actually try, I'm gonna blow up because of things that I've watched you learn, you know? But I think
hmm
this year was the first year where you were like, uh, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna reinvest. I think there was like
Yep.
I mean, we had a lot of conversations this year
Yes.
off
Yeah.
screen, and again, that's because we worked more together. We were more collaborative, and we had a lot of conversations where it's like, all right, well, what are we really doing? Like what kind of goals do we want out of this? Oh, I like this idea. Maybe we should try it. Maybe let's see what happens with the Vampire Diaries things. Oh, Penguin's coming out. Let's try that shit. You know what I mean? And those kind of things, even though they're not in terms of views your best, but I think in terms of like consistency and like having people reoccur to watch, I think was really good. And I think just even your confidence on camera, you've definitely grown in that aspect too. Like, but it's also we kind of knew this going in. I remember like early llama shows, we would always say is like, uh it, how like people say like somebody pops up overnight and it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
well, I took 10 years to pop up overnight. I feel like right now we're in year 3, 4. Or I mean, I think you're in 4 right now with your channel.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
And
4.
it's like at this point, by year 5, you're gonna be at a different level. I don't think if you stay consistent the way you have been, I don't think you're ready for the growth you're gonna have this year. But again, it's taking what you learned from this last year and continuing to get better yourself. You know what I mean? I think like even the small things, like when you said you took notes for this last thing, I think is a huge thing for you because you do get kind of sidetracked sometimes,
I
like
do. I
when you're
do.
talking. And I think if you have even just that little bit of like, all right, this can make my video even that much better, that's another advantage. You know what I mean? So it's gonna
Yeah.
be a good year, man. I really think so.
Yeah. No. Again, this is a great time to talk about reflections, and so I'm glad that we're doing this. But one thing that I did say is a huge thank you to everyone who supports us. Right. Like
Yep.
this is a big deal to me and to you and to all of us. Is like there's a lot of folks that have supported us along the way, but again, keep doing that, keep pushing those likes and things, and keep sharing our shit because it's only going to get we're only going to annoy you more with more and more content. So, but honestly, again, I'm just excited for the year to come and what the more things that we have to talk about and the things. So even this show, right? Even the show we've talked about this, like revamping the style or the way that we do the show in terms of segments and whatnot. But even that is going to come at some point. But like we are transitioning to new things. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for 2025. So that's a good thing. Let's let's talk about just a couple of items, right? I don't know if you. I just wanted to ask you. I don't know what your viewing habits are, but there's a movie that just came out called Carry On. Did you happen to see the previews or anything for that?
No.
It's a weird one. It's one of the Netflix's biggest debuts. Um, and it's a movie that was supposed to be released in the theaters, but it did not get a release. It's actually I think it was supposed to be released in 2023. Didn't get a release, and now they just released it for the holidays. It's a great freaking movie. I tell people to go see it. It didn't make the top 25 list. I mean, the top 10 list, by the way. Just let everyone know. Um, but I thought that was a good movie. I'm a little nervous because there's just so much content that like I'm missing a lot of stuff. Like I and again I did I after you and I talked, I recorded exactly what we talked about, which is my top 10 movies of 2024. I was excited about it, and then I said, all right, well let me see what other you know creators that some of the videos you kind of showed me. Let me see what they had listed right after I recorded. I said, let me record first because I don't want to taint my review. And obviously, it's movies that I have seen. I can't be talking about movies I hadn't seen. Um, Man, and there's a lot of shit I have not seen, and I'm like, fuck, I'm behind. But that's one of my other plans is like in 2025 is like try to keep up with some of those movies that are released and look at release schedules and things so that I can try to see what's out there. But again, Netflix had that big movie. It was a really good movie, man. You should check that out. It was actually pretty decent.
I have to
Oh, we got
see.
we got Jay Birdie's in the house. What's your overall? My number one.
Yeah. You have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, should I say it? We'll wait. We'll wait for the video. How does everyone feel about Paddington going to Peru? Listen, man. Paddington was taken from Peru and gone to I don't understand how Paddington was born in Peru and he has an English accent.
Yeah, but how long was he in Peru, dude?
No, but in Peru he had an English accent.
Oh, that's crazy.
But and then he goes to England and he's like, all right, everything is good, and then he's eating marmalade sandwiches in England, and now he's going back to Peru. No, he's gonna be like a fish out of water in Peru, even though he's born in Peru. That would be like if I went back today to Peru. I would be the Paddington in Peru. So if you're listening, Paddington people, I would like to be at the premiere of your movie, by the way.
I think that's a thing
I'd love to do
you
that.
kind of have to think about for this next year is like, what content are you gonna be like? What's gonna be your expertise in the movie thing? Because I think with all like creators, like especially in the review space, they have like their kind of niches that people like go and look for. You know what I mean? Like when you think about like new rock stars, it's like heavy superhero shit, but then they sprinkle in other things. And I feel like there's just reviewers that do the new releases. You know what I mean? They're not doing older movies. They're only talking about new movies that are coming up. So I think like for you specifically, I think you kind of got to be like, all right, which one am I gonna?
Yeah.
Like what's gonna get me to a premiere? You know what I mean? Like, because I think about that like with Heels, right? Like if Heels would have won like 10 seasons, and me and Bird would have got to do Heels for that many seasons, and it might come back. I think like me and Bird were talking about it, that's like probably some of our best content we've put in. But if we would have like been able to build off of that, we might have by season 10 we might have would have got some interviews or did something. So you kind of got to think like in that term, you know what I mean, for you, because it's like you do a lot of like older movie reviews, or not older, but whatever movie reviews fit you at that time. But I think like if you can narrow down some things and still do the older things, because obviously it works for you. But
yeah, I think for the newer movies, I think it's we've hit the formula before, and I think it's just a matter of consistency, which is I go see the new movies right away, and I should review them.
Give your opinion every time,
right? I should give the opinion right away from the out of the theater review, plus a movie review to follow, and then continue with the movie reactions for those older movies I haven't seen, which are still pretty well. But then that will get me to a space where I'm a voice that's heard a little bit more often for new releases, which could get me a little bit more notoriety. But again, I think I have a pretty fair take on a lot of this stuff because I think I am the casual fan, and I don't really look into the lore and things, but I just enjoy the movie sometimes. I'm not over analytical, and I think that's what a lot of people, for me, enjoy about some of the stuff, because I've gotten some good comments, honestly, and this is not bullshitting, but like on the review parts of the reactions, a lot of people have like, hey, I like your review of the movie. I like what you said about the movie. Pretty fair. This is, and so I've gotten a lot of good compliments on those pieces. And not necessarily exactly the reaction pieces, but so
I mean, that's kind of what I always tell you though. Like they're gonna fall in love with who you are and your takes, and that's kind of like when last week we had the conversation with Cinna, but that's kind of where that comes from. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, Llama, like you do this shit now. At this point, you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Whether or not, you know what I mean? It's like you do YouTube
no, I am.
consistently, right? Like, so be that, you know what I mean? Give your honest opinion. If you cry, fuck it. You want to cry. I'm not gonna cry, but you can cry. But I mean, like, but that's what the people are gonna like. And if you do consistently go to these newer movies, which I think that is your lane, because that's kind of what you always like. I feel like you strive for that. And think about just who you are. Again, going back to the conversation, like my best asset is my physicality. When you think about it, it's like you are a movie goer. You know what I mean? You go to more movies than anybody I know, and I feel like I go to quite a bit of movies. You know what I'm saying? But you go to a lot of them. So, again, narrow down,
Yeah,
give your
yeah,
opinions, do more talking points. You know what I mean? I think that's one kind of why I wanted you to do the tier or like the top 10 was because I want you to do more talking pieces and let your opinions go because that's another way. That's another like again, gym analogy, but like that's another rep for you, right? Like that's a side of you that we don't get to see because you're usually reacting to it or you're talking to like us reacting to a movie.
right,
You're not
right.
necessarily just being like, hey, this is what I'm thinking of it. This is how I feel about it. Again, the Superman thing, I think was really well when you did get your points out and now elevate it from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, again, you're right, and this is why um, I'm really excited for 2025 because that's part of the plan is putting more of those reactions or reviews out because it is what I want to keep doing. Yeah, I mean, because I do go to a lot of movies, um, but yeah, that'll be something that I'll focus on in the new year. Plus, again, having the editor do the reaction pieces frees up the time to do those types of things quickly. So it'll be immediately following the movie, immediately, that weekend, where it's not time consuming, where I'm worried about the other reaction plus this. So for sure. Um, so no, again, there's also I'm just looking at a couple of things here. So Happy Gilmore, they had that the
I just see a
teaser.
trailer
I'm
or
a
the teaser.
huge Happy Gilmore fan, so I'm excited. Birdie wants to know if I've ever done hot yoga. No, not done hot yoga. I think
I've
I'll
been talking
pass
about
on
hot
it.
yoga lately.
Yeah, he must like hot yoga.
I don't think he
Um,
does.
if I'm sure there's a joke somewhere that I'm walking into. Either if I say yes or no. But anyway. So yeah, Happy Gilmore, the teaser trailer, I was excited. It looked really good. I mean, I would love to see it in the theaters, but I'm also okay with it being on Netflix. If I'm honest, like that's not I got to go to the movies to see that movie. I go to the theater to go see it.
But
It's I'm
again, going
not.
back to our last conversation, that might be one of those. If it comes out before, like if it comes out on Netflix at the same time, then you might as well watch it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get your reaction out. But that might be a movie that you should get a reaction out because again, people are talking about it. It's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
going to be good because Adam Sandler really doesn't drop the ball in movies too much.
No, no.
But
But I
if
think
ever, to be honest,
he has an exclusive deal, I think, with Netflix. So
yeah.
he these will go directly. Actually, I've watched the last two Adam Sandler releases on Netflix, and now I thought they were great. But yeah, I could probably do a reaction to it because I don't think it is going to go to
Theater.
theaters at all. So
Oh, that makes sense.
um, I think I will do if it's not going to theaters, I will do the reaction to that one because I'm excited for that movie. It's one of my favorites. And they have the original cast coming back, so it would be interesting. And again, Adam Sandler movies, he just has fun with the movie, and he's in on the joke. You're in on the joke with him, so excited for that one. The only thing I haven't done, which I'm not that upset about, is I haven't kept up with Skeleton Crew, which is that new Star Wars show.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it. I just haven't had time. That's just not a Star Wars thing that I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch Star Wars. I literally have not had time. So once I start watching that, we'll probably talk about that one. And then the last thing I saw here was that Star Wars Andor has a $645 million budget.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
That's one.
That's
I mean, that's one show that I've seen a lot of people talk about their like up and coming shit that they're looking for, and I feel like that's a show that people are looking forward to because the last one was good, and
it
the
was good.
story's kind of like not told, but it's leading up to something, so it's like they kind of have direction. You know what I mean? Whereas Acolyte didn't have direction; it was kind of like, all right, here's a new story. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not running towards any Star Wars things right now, to be honest.
No, I mean that's the thing. There's no rush to go to see it. I like that it has. It's right up my alley. Like it's the show itself. I just haven't had time to watch it. But there's no rush to go to watch it. Like there's nothing that's coming behind it that I'm like, oh. got to go see it before whatever drops. So I like that there's a show that I can watch later. But yeah, no, there's a lot of a lot of good content that's out there, a lot of good stuff to watch, and I'm excited for it. I did notice though too, and I missed this, or it was happening over the holiday break, that Sonic beat out Mufasa.
I mean, come on, dude.
No, I'm surprised because that's a $400 million budgeted movie.
Bro, the first
And
one was ass. You thought the second one was gonna be good?
the first one made like $500 million.
Yeah, and that's the last time they're gonna do that.
Yeah. I think people were like, "Oh, let's check it out," and then they were
Yeah.
like, "What is this?"
And then
shit?
it was ass.
Yeah.
But
But
also, the Sonic franchise is like nostalgia done right, I feel. Especially with like I haven't seen any of them. Kind of waiting for the Blackout Reacts channel for that, to be honest. But I was watching reviews on it because I was kind of intrigued. I was like, all right, they're bringing in Shadow. Like, what are they going to do? Because I know a lot of people's complaints for the first couple were like, yeah, we don't care about the human characters. And it seems like they kind of like said, fuck the human characters and kind of leaned in towards the more Sonic aspect of it. And I'm like, yeah, to me, that's what people want to see, right? Like, one, they listen to the fans, and then word of mouth, people saying, yo, this shit's way better than the first two. You know what I mean? It's kind of that's another thing too. Like, how many sequels are better than the first one? You know, like most of them aren't. Also, an interesting thing, Bird said he went to go watch Wicked, and he said, and this was like 2 days ago, he said it was packed. The theater was packed.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the sing along. The sing along was re-released.
Oh
not
my
re-released.
god! Even
the sing along version.
Well, he said they weren't singing.
Oh, okay. So the sing along version was released on the day before Christmas and on Christmas.
Oh my god!
And
I'm glad Birdie didn't go that. He would beat people up. Shut the fuck up! I fucking sing it.
The words are on the screen, and I've seen
God.
videos of people singing, and it's a whole production. But
who does it? Like, that's crazy to me.
Hey, if you
hey,
go
movies
sing,
are back. They were talking about movies not never coming back after the pandemic, and obviously, you put something that the people like, they're gonna go see it.
Yeah, I think that's the. I mean, we've talked about it, and you actually hit it on the head. It's put something that people want to see. Put a movie that intrigues the public or that has the ability to draw people in, and people will come to the movies. But if you put just a bunch of shit out there, thinking that it's just gonna, people are smart. The consumers are smart. They know what they want. Which again, it proves, people wanted this Wicked movie and they loved it, and that movie's made $500 million. Sonic has been, they listen to their people, they make $500 million. Like it's amazing. And then Mufasa, trash, doesn't make any money, he's losing money. But yeah, Moana, all these movies are making money. Like, people are going back to the theater to go watch them. So there's something out there for people. Gladiator 2 made a bunch of money. Like, it's crazy. Craven the Hunter did not make any money. So
it's garbage.
Again, you put out trash, no one's gonna go see it, but you put out some good movies and they'll go watch. There was one more thing, not about the movies. Oh shit, I forgot. Anyway,
did you see the Spider-Man trailer for the animated thing?
No, I didn't.
Bro,
no, I didn't.
That shit looks like kind of good. Not kind of good like I was expecting it to be bad, but it looks like the comic. I don't know. I really like that they're leaning, especially with like Enter the Spider-Verse is like more comic booky.
Yeah.
This kind of feels like pages of a comic book. So I kind of enjoyed that. But just the actual trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be like pretty cool. A different take on a Spider-Man that we haven't seen probably. And they made Osborn, with the waves. He's a brother. I like that.
Oh shit!
They made it comic book accurate. They didn't put Willem Dafoe or whatever.
They gave him the waves.
Huh?
he's wavy. He's wavy.
You might drown. You need a lifeguard. Be careful.
Oh man. Oh man. And listen, I mean, listen, it's been a great year. It's been a
Yeah, man.
great year. Um, Movies are back. Things are looking pretty good. Oscar season, you know, I get excited for Oscar season, Golden Globe season. There, the nominations are out. You don't want to talk about them. We won't talk about them.
But more content for you, dude.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, um, looking to possibly, what I might do is live stream the Golden Globes or the Oscars because I do like that stuff. But that's me.
That'd be hilarious.
That's the
I'd
nerd in
watch
me.
you. I'd watch you watch it.
Just me in my tuxedo suit. That's great.
Champagne and shit.
Get outraged at winners and losers. Of movies. But see, that's the thing. When I do something like that, I have to like watch all the movies. I did that one year. Not even for the channel. Like one year, I this is how nerdy I am about movies. I think this was 1999. 1999. I remember the year. I got a newspaper because we didn't have the internet. I got a newspaper that had the breakdown of all the Oscar nominated movies, and I went to my Blockbuster and I rented them and I watched them all. Just so when I watched the broadcast, I could say I seen them all and I knew what they were about.
You should do that. Yo, you should do that for content.
Well, yeah, that's a better idea now than back then. But yeah,
No, that's actually honestly, if you did that, like you just dropped an Oscar like labeled thumbnail. It's like this is an Oscar worthy movie.
Oscar nominee.
Nominated. I seen it.
Yeah,
And
no,
then you do the live stream and you give your Stephen A. Llama.
Exactly. You know, the only thing I will say, and this is I got to figure out how to get through this, but and then we'll wrap up the show. In the reactions, I get, and I got to figure it out, and it's okay. I don't want to prep for a reaction. I want to go in there fresh. I don't want to read stuff about the movie, and I don't want to write things down like who's in the movie. I want to just watch it, right? But I get fucking and like amnesia of some sort. Like turn the movie off. I can tell you the actor's name, the 16 movies he's been in, and who like I have a confidence about it. While I'm watching the movie and reacting, I can't fucking think of the guy's name. I don't know who the person is. And so in the reaction, I sound like a fucking idiot. I'm like, oh, that's the guy from. Yeah, that guy. like that's how it comes out. And then Eduardo, I could tell when he edits it. I don't know if he does it on purpose, but it's like I'll say something and I'll stop mid sentence. I'll be like, "Yeah, that's that dude from." And then he'll like stop it and he'll move me to the corner, and then like literally like 2 segments later I'll go, yeah, that guy from that show, and then he'll put me right back in the corner. I'm like, fuck, I gotta stop doing that. But anyway, I'll figure that out.
Do this content.
Yeah,
you said you're 2K overall. Speaking of, we will be 2K overall.
Oh, my 2K overall. I think I'm 70 something, 75.
Oh, it's not bad, dude.
Yeah,
listen, man, you pass it to Bird, he'll dunk on somebody probably.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm faster. I can defend. I can defend now.
Hey, that's what we need.
Exactly. I'm not going to be your scorer. I'm not. I'm going to be your defender. I'll get an occasional wide open dunk, from afar. But I'm excited. So, are we gaming after this?
We are, dude.
Okay. So let's wrap this fucking show up so we can go fucking game. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for joining us to tonight's episode, the Sunday night live stream, the last one for 2024, episode 184. Thank you for another fabulous year. I am the Big Llama. He is Blackout AD. We will be playing some video games, but we will see you guys in 2025 for the first stream of 2025. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night.